is for the applicant Ardit Kraja of 500 Governor's Drive, Winthrop, Mass., requesting a special permit to reconstruct, alter, and extend the pre-existing non-conforming structure, which is a garage, by constructing a 2.5-story, two-family dwelling on Lot A, Elmwood Street.
Petitioner.
Good evening, Chairman Silvestri and City Councilors. My name is Nancy O'Neill. I'm an attorney located at 14 Proctor Avenue, and I represent the applicant in this matter, Mr. Kraja of Mill Street, a resident of Ward 1. As set out in the City Council hearing of January 29th, the builder has proposed to replace the dilapidated commercial structure on the Elmwood Street property with a new residential structure that is in line with the surrounding neighborhood. This project readily meets the standard for the granting of a special permit, which is that the proposed structure shall not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing structure. Here, instead of being more detrimental to the neighborhood, the proposed structure will improve the neighborhood. So the large majority of homes in this neighborhood feature similar lot size and density to the proposed structure. The size of the subject lot was a standard when the neighborhood was created. So what is being proposed here is a standard type of residential structure in the neighborhood in terms of lot size and coverage. Massachusetts courts have generally supported the granting of special permits where the proposed structures are consistent in size and scale to the neighborhood, and the proposed structure would upgrade the property. Massachusetts courts have also supported the granting of special permits where the proposed structure would upgrade an aging property and eliminate a commercial use from a residential neighborhood. So we are doing all of those things here. The current structure is a commercial structure that has been put to various uses over the years. The old structure is incongruent with the neighborhood, which is otherwise residential in character. And furthermore, the structure has become dilapidated and stands out as a derelict single-story commercial building. So the new residential building that is proposed will form a great improvement over these current conditions. So this will be a new attractive structure that will improve property values. It will be built to modern building code, be energy efficient and safe. So again, we are proposing to get rid of an old commercial garage and replace it with a standard residential structure built at 2026 standards. So this will ensure that the commercial use does not return to the neighborhood. And this structure would also feature sufficient parking. 4 parking spaces are planned at a lot about 30 feet away. So that lot would also remain as an open lot, to serve the parking needs of neighboring structures. And in conjunction with the recommendations of the city, the applicant is proposing a new sidewalk along the stretch of Elmwood Street, new street trees, and landscaping for the parking area. So we are going from a dilapidated commercial building in the middle of a residential neighborhood to an attractive standard-sized residence with sufficient parking, new trees, new landscaping, and sidewalks. So this is a definite improvement in terms of safety, aesthetics, neighborhood character, and property values over the dilapidated commercial building. And finally, based on the feedback of the council and neighbors, we actually intend to redesign our plans for this proposed structure. One of the changes that we would like to make specifically is to increase the side yard setback to the abutter at 47 Elmwood Street. The current garage does not have a setback at that property line. There is a 0-foot setback there. We had previously proposed a setback of 3 feet, which would be an improvement over the existing, but we would like to increase that. So we would respectfully request that this matter is continued so that new plans can be drawn up and submitted to the council. And we are thankful for any further input from this honorable subcommittee. And I believe we also have a neighbor here in attendance who would like to speak on the project as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Name and address for the record, please.
Sure. My name is Danielle Lotolo. I live at 71 Elmwood Street in Revere. I've been a resident of Elmwood Street all of my life. The garage located 2 lots away from my home has been dilapidated, unkept eyesore for more than 15 years. I'm in support of this project as I would prefer a 2-family home over a large development. The main reason I personally support this is the parking plan. The current lot on my fence line would no longer be buildable, and therefore I will maintain privacy in my yard and pool area. The project will not only improve the appearance of the neighborhood, but will also raise the property values of the surrounding homes. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Anyone here against? Not in favor?
Jim Mercurio, 193 Crescent Ave, Ward 1 City Councilor. Now, I'm not in favor of this project for a couple of reasons. She talked about public safety, and the building that they're proposing is only going to be 3 feet away from either side of both buildings. We do have a zoning law, dimensional regulations, 17.24.025, and it states, all principal buildings on the lot shall be serviced by access ways suitable for fire, police, and emergency vehicles. There's no way that a firefighter could get down a 3-foot alley carrying a fire hose. God forbid if there was a structure fire there, it would be pretty bad. Another point that I'm missing on this design is they have an overhang on this building right here that attaches to the garage. I'd like to know what's going to happen with that overhang.
Thank you. So there will be an easement for that encroachment, so that would remain as it is. Thank you.
So they would have to file an easement for an overhang that's presently attached to that structure. I'm going to see how that works when you build a building on there. It's going to be not even 3 feet away. It's going to be probably touching the new structure. I have a couple more things I want to just read over, please. I need the leeway. They required off-street parking spaces for single-family, two-family duplexes, townhouses. Uses shall be provided on the actual developed lot, and there are no such easements provided on other lots that meet the parking requirements. So by rights, or by what this zoning says, is they can't get an easement on that lot. I'd like the attorney to explain that, please.
Thank you. So we've been discussing the parking easement with the city planner, and we understand that the special permit would authorize a nonconformity as to parking. So again, we are planning to have an easement for the parking spaces at the adjacent lot. So there would be sufficient parking for the residents. Thank you.
Once again, according to the zoning, that they're not allowed to have parking or an easement on other lots. She speaks about, thank you for the leeway, Mr. Chairman, by the way, increasing the housing stock. Yes, we do need single and two families. This would be a perfect example for an ADU unit to be built in this space. Small 900 square foot ADU unit would work perfectly in this space, and we wouldn't have to go in front of the zoning board or the council here. I think that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else want to speak further? Okay, opening up to the City Council, Councilor Guarino-Swire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councilor Mercurio, I just wanted to let you know that all three of those lots are owned by the same person, just so you know. And right now, the garage is on top of the other building. It's literally touching. It's actually on top, and they wanted to do 3 feet away. But anyways, when this project was first presented, I was inclined to support it. At the initial community meeting, residents who did attend were genuinely excited about replacing the dilapidated commercial structure with a two-family owner-occupied home. The removal of a commercial use, the addition of the off-street parking, and the improvement to the streetscape all felt like a positive change for this neighborhood. Since that meeting, however, additional residents, especially those who were unable to attend, have come forward with serious and valued concerns. I took the time to listen carefully to those residents and to visit that site myself, and after doing so, I felt it was important to reconsider my position because, firstly, I went there at night, and there was a ton of cars already parked in that parking lot. So you're going to put more people in there, where are you going to put the cars? Where, they're not going to be able to get parking permits, so where are you going to put them on top of an already full parking lot? While the lot size may be consistent with the nearby one and two-family homes, they're the same size. So there's two-family homes that are 2,200 square feet and even less, actually. The setbacks and proximity between the structures are not. The existing garage already encroaches on the neighboring property, and the proposed building would sit roughly 3 feet away from the adjacent home. It's just not feasible. That level of closeness is not typical for that area and would have a real impact on the privacy and the quality of life of the next door neighbor. It also sets a concerning precedent for how tightly homes could be built moving forward. So, as the counselor, my responsibility is to balance the development with the neighborhood character. And when residents raise these concerns in good faith, I believe it's my responsibility to listen to them. And I have to stand with them in this case. And I'm siding with the residents, and I support 1 and 2 family homes in this neighborhood, but I can't support a project in this current form. So what I'm asking is if you can return with a revised plan, such as a smaller footprint, reduced height, or pulling that structure 10 feet away from that neighboring property, then I would be inclined to support it then. But until then, I cannot support it as the ward counselor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll wait for Revere TV. No? Okay, there I am. So again, I think I raised some concerns the last meeting. I can't support this project. It's simple for me. The lot is just too small. So we're in an RB district for a 2-family. According to our zoning, we need a minimum of 6,000 square feet of land with a 60-foot amount of frontage. So we're wildly away from that. 2,200 square feet of land is approximately 1/3 of what would be required in this area. I understand that you're saying it's in the character of the neighborhood, but our zoning code was developed to prevent this exact type of building. It's because this building was, this type of building was taking place back in the 1880s or whatever you quoted last time, was the whole reason why we have a zoning code, to prevent building like this from going forward, from taking place in the future. So to replace the small, what I consider an accessory garage with this large multi-story building on a 2,200 square foot lot just doesn't make any sense. I know that you mentioned some case law, but Massachusetts law only allows reasonable modifications to an existing non-conforming use, not gross exaggerations. And this would be a gross exaggeration, in my opinion. Since you mentioned some case law, there is Borkland versus ZBA of Norwell, 2008, where scale and proportion was definitely part of that decision. And it was found you can't significantly enlarge homes on non-conforming lots. And this one is wildly out of proportion to what is already there. In addition to all of that, we just don't build just because it can fit. Just because something can fit on a lot structurally doesn't give us that's not the reason why we should build it. And also the neighbors in this neighborhood, I did hear from them, they're against it, they're opposed to it. So I'm a no on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Genzio. Councilor Cogliano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the reasonable thing would be to, and I agree with just about everything that was set up here, I think the reasonable thing would be to allow them to go back to the drawing board, try to bring a new project before us, and see if we can come to an agreement, and if not, we can't, at least give them an opportunity to do that. This isn't a giant, 100-unit building developer. This is a regular person who I think they own an HVAC company. So it's just a regular person trying to build a house. So let's see what they come back with. I would, if anyone else wants to speak, I would motion to table this.
Thank you, Counselor. Just permission to speak from the chair? I totally agree, Counselor, and I appreciate you saying that you're going to take it and bring it back before us. And because of that, well, this will be placed on file. Thank you. Oh, it will actually be remaining committee, sorry.